Hey, are you still that person that just doesn't own any Bitcoin? But hold on, maybe you might have that one good reason why you just don't. Well, in this video, I'm gonna be explaining some of those reasons that you might be coming up with to say that you don't own any Bitcoin. And by the end of this video, maybe you might wanna go out there and get some Bitcoin or stick to that reason why you just don't. I don't know why, but anyway, stick around. What's up, Crypto Land? Black Crypto here, bringing another cryptocurrency video where I talk about the basics of Bitcoin and everything else cryptocurrency. So, are you afraid to jump in terms of getting Bitcoin? You probably have a good reason for not doing that. Well, maybe your friend is involved with Bitcoin and you're just waiting to see what their portfolio does, whether it goes up or whether it goes down, or maybe you're waiting for the price of Bitcoin to go all the way down so you can just buy it all up. Maybe that might be your reason. But I've heard a lot of reasons, and I've heard a lot of people that don't have Bitcoin, and I've listened to that in terms of the reasons why they don't. And some of them make great sense, but many of them really don't. So that's why I got about 5 of these reasons that I put together, and I'm going to talk about them in this video in terms of maybe another way to look at them. And hopefully you will change your mind by the end of this video and start grabbing up Bitcoins for yourself. Or maybe you might go ahead, like I said, and still won't own Bitcoin. I don't know. Reason number 1, it's a scam. You don't still believe this, do you, that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are still a scam right about now? We're in the year of 2021 right now, and if you're watching this video, that means you have some interest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. And maybe you've been hearing all about it from your friends. Maybe you've been hearing about it all in the news. Well, not only that, let's think about all the people that are involved with Bitcoin in terms of big players. We have some big institutional investors like Grayscale or BlackRock. What about MicroStrategy, who's kind of changed up their whole portfolio just to start focusing on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology? So when you start looking at the bigger scale of this, is Bitcoin really a scam? Absolutely not. Is there somebody at the top that's just getting rich? We already realized that that is just not the case. Matter of fact, I actually did a video about this in terms of it not being a scam. Make sure you go ahead and check out that video. In the end of the day, you have to figure out who's really profiting from this. Like I said, there's nobody at the top that's profiting from Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just like cash in terms of a currency that you can use. So start taking advantage of it. How you use it, if you use it in terms of scams, then it will be a scam. But the instrument in terms of what you're using in terms of Bitcoin is not a scam. Reason number 2, I don't know how. So maybe you don't know how to buy Bitcoin, but right now buying Bitcoins are easier than ever before. Well, let's think of this in terms of an example. If you have currency in terms of a US dollar and you go to a different country, let's say it is Europe, you're going to have to go to that currency exchange and change your US dollars for that euro. Well, when it comes to Bitcoin, it is a digital currency. So all you need to do is go to an online exchange. Simply then load your bank account or your credit card information or your debit card information with that particular exchange, and then simply convert whatever amount of US dollars that you have or whatever currency that may be for your Bitcoin. Although this might be a great way for you to get your hands on some Bitcoin, there are many other ways to get your hands on some Bitcoin just as easily. Of course, you can do this in terms of peer-to-peer. Simply go and ask somebody to give you some Bitcoin. That's one way you can do it. Or what you can do is also go to an ATM. There are many ATMs all over your city that you can definitely check for to go and see if they have any Bitcoin ATMs there and available. And lastly about that, what you can also do is keep in mind that you can always educate yourself when it comes to learning how to get yourself some Bitcoin. Of course, you're here on this channel, so definitely check out all the other videos that I have on this channel. Make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so you'll be notified anytime I release any new videos about how you can get yourself some more Bitcoins or other different cryptocurrencies and what to actually do with them. Reason number 3, it's too expensive. Well, honestly, yes. I mean, Bitcoin, in terms of one Bitcoin, is worth around $50,000 right now. So if you look at it in terms of its whole value, it is expensive if you want to try to own one Bitcoin, and especially if you don't have $50,000 just lying around in the bank. But one of the things that you can remember when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin can be broken up to 100 million pieces. This is known as Satoshis. Well, another way to look at this, of course, with the US dollar, $1 can be broken up into 100 pennies. You don't have to own a whole dollar. A dollar might be too expensive for some people, but you might have 1 penny, or you might have 10 cents, or a quarter. So keep in mind when you look on these exchanges and you see all of these ones and zeros in terms of how it's actually represented, all you have to know is you have to just break it down in terms of how much of it do you actually want. If you want one Bitcoin in terms of one being $50,000, half a Bitcoin is just simply $25,000. But you can buy any amount of Bitcoin, just like fractional shares when it comes to the stock market. So if you've been exposed to the stock market before, you bought some fractional shares, then you really already understand that you can buy a piece of Bitcoin. Okay, so you think that buying Bitcoin is too expensive, right? Well, let me give you an example real quick. Maybe you're familiar with the Cash App, and I'm going to use the Cash App as an example because most people already are using the Cash App. Whether you're using it to send some money to your friends, or maybe you're getting some of these fractional shares inside of the Cash App. Well, did you know that you can actually buy Bitcoin on the Cash App? And I'm actually going to show you that right now. So all you need to do is go ahead and open up the Cash App. And then what you're going to do is go to the stocks and the Bitcoin section. Then go to the Bitcoin tab. Once you're over here, all you need to do is just simply click on the buy button and then choose how much you're going to buy. I'm going to go ahead and buy $10. Click on 10, click next. I'm going to authenticate, and then I'm going to confirm. That's it. It said that I purchased now Bitcoin. And in terms of $10, and like I was talking about in terms of those decimals, as you can see in terms of $10, it's now 0.000200464, which means that's the rate right now for $5 based on the price of Bitcoin. So how long did that really take? That was really fast and simple. That was only about maybe 10 seconds. And now I own Bitcoin in my account. Of course, I bought $10 and it's a little bit less right now in terms of $9.77. And that's because of whatever the fee might be and because of the price might actually fluctuate within those few seconds. But hey, by the end of today, I may have more than $10 worth of Bitcoin. So not only that, in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of using it through the Cash App, go ahead and get yourself some Bitcoin. That was very fast. It didn't take any experience whatsoever in terms of you actually owning it. And not only that, one of the things that you can be sure about when it comes to this is make sure you have money in the account, of course, and make sure you have your bank account linked to your linked to your Cash App. Also, in terms of Coinbase, you can go there as well and just as easily buy some cryptocurrency. Just check in terms of the apps that you might have on your phone. You might have a Robinhood, a Webull, a Cash App. You might have Coinbase. You might have all of these apps on your phone already, and you might be able to get some Bitcoin. Reason number 4, I'm going to lose money. Well, realistically, yes, you're going to lose money. And honestly, I've lost thousands of dollars when it came to Bitcoin. But honestly, to tell you the truth, when it comes to you losing money, there's another way to actually look at this. And generally speaking, that has to do with the volatility of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So when it comes to the price of Bitcoin, this is one of the things that you have to look out for. Are you going to buy Bitcoin today and look to sell it tomorrow if the price goes all the way up? Because this is known as a day trader. And if you want to start day trading, you have to keep this in mind because they're the kind of people that make profit whether it goes up or whether it goes down. So there's a lot of experience that has to go into you understanding how to day trade. But of course, when it comes to you day trading, you're going to lose a whole lot. So one of the things that I like to do, because I am not that experienced in terms of trading cryptocurrencies right now, I want to hold cryptocurrencies for the long run. And actuality, that's even better at the same time. One of the things you have to remember is Bitcoin is one of the best performing assets that we've ever seen in history. One of the best performing assets that have grown 200% year over year. So is the question really, are you going to lose money? No, it depends on how you use your Bitcoin. Of course, if you put your Bitcoin in places that you really don't believe in and you haven't done your research, you might lose your money just like I've lost my money. So in the end, it really depends on you. Number 5 is it's only used by criminals. I mean, honestly, if I had a Bitcoin for every single person that came up to me and told me that Bitcoin is only used by criminals, I would be on my own crypto island right now, sipping pina colada all by myself with all of my Bitcoins. I mean, to tell you the truth, yes, in terms of the early beginnings of Bitcoin, Bitcoin was really used by a lot of criminals, but that's because no one knew what Bitcoin was. But fast forward to today, in terms of do criminals use Bitcoin or only use Bitcoin, this is not true. I actually did a great video trying to explain to you why Bitcoin is not used by any criminals, and that's because it's not anonymous. A lot of people think that Bitcoin is anonymous, and that's one of the things that was spewed out many years in terms of Bitcoin. But it isn't. Definitely check out that video for that full explanation in terms of that. So when you look at the future in terms of what Bitcoin is and where it's going to be, or if you look at it right now in terms of who's involved with it, I guess you can say the banking industry is the biggest criminals of them all. And you can definitely say the government is the biggest criminals ever. But hey, guess what? That's you in terms of how you label a criminal. But in terms of Bitcoin, it's just a currency. So it's used just like cash, whether it's used in terms of illegally or it's just used in terms of globally. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, we all can say that it is not used only by criminals. All right, so there you have it. Maybe you have some reasons why you didn't get involved with Bitcoin, and hopefully these weren't the reasons why you didn't get involved with Bitcoin, because I gave you some good information to possibly think about it a little bit differently. Well, let's actually go over that list one more time. So that reason number one is it's a scam. Well, we already know that there's nobody at the top that's really benefiting from Bitcoin, and all of the institutions and governments getting involved with Bitcoin only shows more proof that it's not a scam. Well, number two is I don't know how. Well, maybe you don't know how to buy some Bitcoin, but it's easier than ever before. Just simply use one of the apps that you already have, maybe like the Cash App, or go to a Coinbase. Reason number three, it's too expensive. Well, we already know that it is too expensive for one single Bitcoin, but you can buy any amount of Bitcoin that you want. Number four. Well, number four is I'll lose money. Well, you will lose money if you do so in the short run in terms of just trying to trade it and try to profit off of the price going up and down. Hold it over the long run in terms of HODL. You might do a little bit better. Number five is it's only used by criminals. Well, we know this is the furthest from the truth. Or we can just say, hey, only cash is used by criminals. Hey guys, so I think this is some good reasons for you to start getting involved with Bitcoin. If you're getting involved with Bitcoin, or if you haven't gotten involved with Bitcoin and you have some reasons for those, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it. I'm Black Crypto. Thank you for checking out another cryptocurrency video. Make sure you hit that like button. That helps me get these videos recommended out to everybody. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell so you'll be notified anytime I release any new videos right here on this channel. And if you want to support this channel, make sure you check out all those links that I have below for all of those resources and all of those services that I definitely recommend to you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.